this? We're going to have this story for you coming up just over the next few minutes here on Fox 10 Talks. It comes to us from the Seattle Kraken. They are one of the newer NHL teams, and the backstory is this. They were up there in Alaska, right along a riverbank, and you got a real-life mascot turning and looking and seeing the real-life bear. And did you see that? I mean, you can tell. That is a bear in pursuit. So, between now and before we take our next break in the next few minutes, we've got that whole wild story for you because it was caught on camera. You're going to want to see the video for sure. So, hold with us for just a few minutes on that one as we get to some of the other big stories of the morning. And just when you think you've heard everything, how about this story? Unbelievable. Never heard of this one before. They are now saying up in Yavapai County that a drunk driver started a wildfire. Can you believe it? Investigators say the driver crashed into an embankment. You can see he blew out a tire. Then the sheriff's office believes he drove 3 miles on bare metal rim, sparking fires along the way, and not just one, but a bunch of them. So it has now been given a name. You know what happens every time we get one of these fires, and it's been a rough fire season in Arizona. They're calling this one the Kirkland Fire. It has already burned nearly 1,000 acres, and they've been on it. You know, I mean, our firefighters are stretched in this state. And then you get a drunk driver who not only, this is allegedly innocent until proven guilty, but not only is accused of continuing to drive on the rim, which of course is going to damage the pavement, but then sparking a fire. Just unbelievable. Containment at 35%. And so you have a number of neighborhoods, because it's so close to the highway, that have been put under set evacuation status. You know how that goes. Ready, set, and then go. Hopefully they don't get to go status, but we're going to stay on top of it because the story is just unbelievable. Then when it comes to fighting fires, man, how about this one? This one also pretty unbelievable. There was a brush fire over the weekend in this central Phoenix area. So we're talking about 15th Avenue and Lincoln, and it looks like kind of a desolate area. There's some industrial there, but it's actually just a few blocks away from the Arizona State Capitol. 15th Avenue, Lincoln. So they get out there, there's a brush fire. What's the first job? Is to get that fire out. But then that's when they find a man dead on the scene. And at this point, you know, it's early enough on Monday that we don't have a lot of answers, but they did find the body right there where the fire was, and the investigation is ongoing. So we're going to work our sources to try to come up with additional info for you regarding exactly what happened there. We have seen in some past incidents where fires are set to try to cover up a crime, even a murder. But in this case, we just don't know yet. But what was the connection between the man who was found dead and this fire, little brush fire? But it looks like there could be a sinister connection to that. So we're glad you're starting your morning with us here. This is Fox 10 Talks. I'm Ron Hoon. Syleste Rodriguez will join in the next minute or two, and we go for 2 straight hours with the most interesting stories of the day. And because it's a streaming show, we got our headphones on, our microphones, and a chance to chat with you guys in the YouTube chat box. It always gives us just a little bit more time to delve into the day's most interesting stories. So you just seen those 2 right there. Also, let's update you on what's been going on because it is the 4th of August. The 4th of July, now 1 month in the rear view mirror, and we are still reporting updates on the Dragon Bravo fire. Yep, we're at the 1-month mark since one of the most destructive fires in Arizona state history started by lightning up on the north rim of the Grand Canyon. There will be plenty of time for investigation later on in terms of the decisions that were made in those critical first few hours regarding whether or not to fight this fire, but it is continuing to rage. And the updated number this morning, as you probably remember if you're a regular watcher with us every day here on Fox 10 Talks, we crossed the 100,000 acre mark last week, about midweek. Here's the new number as of this morning: 123,000 acres destroyed. Celeste joins as well. Celeste, when last we checked on this fire, it was the 10th biggest in our state's history. It has now moved up to the 8th largest.
Yeah.
And it is, again, it is such a struggle because it's in some very tough firefighting areas. Still at only 12% containment. And when we checked last week, remember they said they had over 1,000 people fighting this fire.
I know. And now there's 1,200 of people fighting this fire.
Mhm.
And I think on Friday they threw around the term mega fire.
Yeah.
Because now it's one of the largest in the continental United States, including North America. And so this is it's pretty scary when you take a look at it, though, because when you look at the 10-day forecast that we have coming up, it's not going to let up anytime soon. We'll still have those gusty winds, and it's going to be very hot.
Yeah, that's a really good point. It's so interesting, the weather up at the Grand Canyon, because when you're on top, and by the way, keep in mind, the North Rim is higher in elevation than the south rim of the Grand Canyon. The south rim, that's where probably 95% of people go, tourist. It's much easier to access. But up there at the north rim this morning,
Yes.
they were not that far away from freezing.
Wow.
I know. It's like, okay, give us some good cold freezing weather because they get that up there. And that's what certainly could help. But some rain would help even more.
I wonder if that's, Ron, you bring up a good point. If it's freezing up at the North Rim right now,
Yeah.
I wonder if that's why they decided initially, because a lot of questions are surrounding why they allowed that lightning sparked fire to burn like a prescribed burn
Yeah.
and just babysit it.
And I think you have different decision makers when you're on land that's run by the National Park Service.
True. Yes.
And so, yeah, like I said earlier, there's going to be plenty of time for investigation.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of broken hearts from people who are,
yeah.
whenever we are able to get back up in there. Highway 67 has been closed now ever since really the fire began, and it just tore through the North Rim, and that lodge was lost. They've been doing a good job of trying to protect the Kaibab Lodge.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great point. And, even with the cold weather this morning, I believe it was 37 degrees at 6 o'clock this morning at the coldest time of the day up there at the South Rim. So maybe it was very close to freezing. Maybe it was 32, 33, 34 degrees higher in elevation. But boy, you're right. These temps as we get into the rest of the week, it's going to be tough.
Yeah. And so maybe there was, if it's freezing temperatures, you can imagine, maybe they initially thought, let's just watch this thing burn and see what happens. But those gusty winds took off. And, we've been chatting about this for a long time. But the southwest part of the country, we're in the middle of a historic drought.
Yeah.
We've been talking about it for 20 years now, but we're still here.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so now you know the update there. 123,000 acres, containment a little above 10%. But yeah, that one really does look like it's going to be with us for several more weeks to come unless we get a break and we do get some of that rain. This next story sure has people talking, and so we're going to talk about it here on Fox 10 Talks as well. There is a story coming out of here, the Metro Phoenix area. We're one of the biggest populated areas in the nation, 5 million people between Maricopa and Pinal counties. But still, to have a story that has any kind of connection to North Korea and work apparently being done here in the Valley, and now finally a sentence being handed down. It's just really incredible. Here's what we're talking about if you're just tuning into the story. So there's a Valley woman who investigators say stole millions of dollars to help fund North Korea's nuclear program. She helped the North Koreans gain access to U.S. companies by setting up a bank of computers in her own house out in the West Valley. So a federal judge just handed Christina Chapman, and you're going to hear actually from her in her social media post here in about a minute, but sentenced her to 8.5 years behind bars. FBI says between October of 2020 and midway through the year of 2023, she raked in more than $17 million with this. It's almost like a computer farm that she had going at her house. So the scheme impacted more than 300 U.S. companies, compromised the identities of more than 60 American citizens. And her former neighbors were saying it made them think twice about who you really don't know who's next door. So you're going to be hearing here from prosecutors because the feds did a great job on this case. And then just interspersed, you're actually going to hear from her as she's breaking down in tears. She's been caught. She's now been given 8 years in the slammer as a result. But still, just to think about this connection with North Korea, here we go.
This is a different type of fraud, as this is an income stream going back to the North Korean regime to fund their nuclear weapons program, which makes this that national security matter. The companies thought they were hiring Americans. When they are looking at their logs and seeing the IP addresses coming back to somewhere in the U.S., the systems say that is right.
My clients are going crazy.
A lady in Litchfield Park, Arizona, could be running a laptop farm on behalf of the North Korean government. I think that is the first shocking, but it also shows that this can happen anywhere in the U.S.
Just when I think something might be going in my favor, it goes terribly awry.
Well, of course, the problem is if something's going in your favor, make it legal. I mean, that's truly the bottom line. And don't get caught up with the North Koreans, for goodness sakes.
And how does this happen? Do they make a post on Craigslist or something, like looking for a woman in Arizona to help with this situation? Like, how does...
That's a great question,
How does the initial combination happen and the relationship begin?
You know what? We need a spy reporter here at Fox 10.
Is there a Tinder for jobs?
Just to dig into exactly what was the original connection. It's a really good point. Okay, the bear versus the mascot right after the break. But first, everybody, here's your Mystery Cam back in 2 minutes with Syleste. All right, it is time to go through any guesses that we might have for the mystery cam. I know we just barely got to it, so we're going to give you guys a second or two to do it.
While we give them some time, Ron, you mind we just introduce Mike Payson? He's here.
Let's do it. There's the man.
How we doing, guys?
The man, the legend.
Correct. We think we're a big deal, Syleste and I here on Fox 10 Talks. Well, don't you?
I'm not even a big deal in my house.
Yeah,
my kids
good
are like,
point.
Mom, what?
Right. Where's dinner, Mom?
Well, and not just that. It's like my kids are athletes, and my husband is one as well. And so they're like, Mom, you don't know what you're talking about. You weren't an athlete. I'm like, you know what? I played softball.
Oh, boy.
And I played volleyball in
Those are
middle
fighting
school.
words.
Yeah, they are.
We won like the regional champs in 8th grade. So I was a point guard. I know exactly what I'm talking about.
We need to bring some of Celeste's kids in here and have a one-on-one
There
or
we go.
2-on-one
A little
or
shoot.
whatever.
Or 3-on-1.
Okay, Mike Payson joining us here for the next 15 minutes. We got plenty of various topics to get to with you, but I did like Dave Brousseau's comment. We have the friendliest chat online, but we also have some of the smartest chatters as well. This is so great. Dave says they need to send that lady on a permanent vacation to North Korea. Holy cow. We got to dig into that and find out what was the original connection. That's the part of the whole story that
how do you
seems
get caught up?
crazy.
Some like somebody who lives in Arizona, it's crazy.
I know it. Makes no sense. Here we go.
Michael Donovan says Kentucky on the mystery cam.
All right.
Linda Monter says Missouri.
All right.
We've got somewhere in Ohio with Dave Brousseau.
Okay. It's a cloudy day.
Yes.
Since Mike is here as well, you can jump in with a guess, Mike. I like the Ohio guess from Dave.
I'm going with Missouri.
Okay. Do you say Missouri or Missouri?
Oh, I always say Missouri.
Okay, do
yeah,
you?
Yeah. I spent time in Joplin, Missouri for 2 years.
You work there?
And there was a divide. Yeah, there was a divide. It was Missouri or Missouri. A lot of people in Joplin area would say Missouri.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Because it's further south.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Syleste. He's got Ohio. I've got Ohio. Mike, you've got Missouri and Syleste.
I'll go Indiana.
All right, so
Just
here
for
comes
fun.
the answer to the mystery cam.
Elizabethtown, Kentucky.
Oh, is that
okay.
right?
Michael Donovan. Nice
Okay.
work
That's
in
a
the
nice
chat.
work.
Very
Yeah,
nice
he threw out
indeed.
Kentucky.
Good. Okay. By the way, people are impressed. Little Philosophy is saying, wow, got a guest on from Live Now.
There we go.
Yeah, we're big
Love to be
time,
here.
Ron.
Yeah, we are.
If Mike Payson's given us his time,
Yep.
we've made it to a new level.
to be here.
Okay, let's roll this crazy video from Alaska because, seriously, if you haven't seen it yet, watch this now. Okay, there's the mascot, and now all of a sudden the bear. Look at this. Look at that. Right there. Now, here's what I think is interesting. The mascot did not, and here's it from another angle. The mascot does not flee, but it takes him a second to turn around. It could be a lady, too, the guy or the gal, whoever's in that mascot. And the bear decided apparently not to try to eat the mascot, but he was growling. Seattle Kraken forward John Hayden and Bowie, the mascot, were filming in Alaska, showing the bear there at one of the big national parks. At one point, it charges toward the mascot. Bears are known to make bluff charges, and this one was. But I honestly wonder, you guys, if the bear had ran, if the mascot had ran or fallen down, would the bear have continued charging?
That's a good thought there, but I would hope not. But
I know
if I'm the mascot, I'm sort of happy I have that
The suit on?
little suit on. I know it's not going to do much.
It's a somewhat of a protective device.
I wonder if he thought he was another wild animal.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure bears are always looking for lunch, right?
Yeah,
Aren't they? Isn't that your main pursuit?
That's the main thing.
And so just the fact that he sees something, he's probably very used, it's in a national park in Alaska, probably used to seeing humans, but thinking, I wonder if that creature is edible.
I think so. Yeah.
Fortunately, we can report that the Kraken survived. Oh, and by the way, went right along with the Mascot code, never said a word. As far as we can
he
tell.
He didn't scream or anything?
No, I don't think so. That's the toughest interview in the business, is trying to interview the Phoenix Suns gorilla.
Yeah.
Or Sparky the Sun Devil.
They'll stay in character.
Yeah.
And they will.
No, yeah, for sure. All right, so anyhow, one of our more interesting stories of the morning, and we couldn't wait to share it with you here on Fox 10 Talks. All right, let's check in and see what's going on with the market right now. I am going to punch up. This is quite amazing when you really think about it, because Friday, the president fired this particular lady who runs the BLS. Ever even heard of it? It's the Bureau of Labor Statistics. It's under the Labor Department. They're the ones that come out with the numbers. Now, the president said that the figures were rigged to make Republicans look bad. Then later on, he did say that it wasn't so much that the numbers came out of 73,000 bad for July, but the revisions were the worst, he said, in more than 50 years. How could the people in charge have been so wrong about the May numbers and the June numbers? They were off by more than 200,000 jobs.
I mean, yeah, that's a huge number, and you would think it's more cut and dry, right? Like black and white, where, okay, here's the numbers, here's what came in, here's what... But why is there so many revisions across the board?
Yeah. I wonder too. And I just wonder, there have been so many layoffs in the tech world. I wonder if they missed some of those for some reason, because I think part of how they calculate is who gets out of their car and walks into the unemployment office at various states. And maybe there's been some kind of a lag or delay. I'm just trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, because I've never seen it be this far off.
It could be. I mean, that could be the delay in having to have, think about it, summer, people got other things going on in life. Maybe they're going to visit family or something, and finally maybe they have a severance, and then finally walk into the unemployment office, and next thing you know, boom, our numbers pop up. Okay, so here's the reporting here. May and June, they reported that there were over 250,000 jobs less than they had previously reported. It was the largest downward revision since keeping apart the COVID era, because that was so nuts, but in normal times since the year 1979. Yeah. So, I mean, we see those numbers roll around, and I think just, a lot of people are like, why did they get it so wrong? What is the story here? And so the president makes the decision, as you can see right here, to fire this particular lady. She had just been approved bipartisan last year, 2024. That's him, by the way, walking up. There's the woman who just lost her job. And it's interesting, Mike, because let's go to our poll question. Celeste, I know you want to weigh in on this thing too. Always. What
do you think? Here are your options. 51% say tempest in a teapot, not a big deal. 43% say the whole thing is outrageous. The bad jobs numbers weren't her fault. And 6%, Mike, say, I don't like it, but it's who Trump is. He fires people. Your take.
I wonder if these numbers going forward, is it going to make a big difference for investors? Because once a number comes out, they might say, well, let's wait the next month to see if these revisions are going to be happening. Because look at the market right now. We saw a downturn on Friday big time, and now everything's being bought up again.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, let's jump back into that. I got the button where we can do it right here.
Look at that.
Celeste, we've not only made up all 540 points that were lost on Friday, we're actually ahead of the game. Not by much, but by 16 points.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. Okay, so let me give you a little, it says, how are the jobs numbers calculated? This is according to a news source online. At the beginning of each month, the Bureau of Labor Statistics releases an estimate of the change in payroll employment for the previous month. That estimate is based on a monthly survey of about 560,000 businesses selected to represent the millions of employers nationwide. So maybe it depends on who's actually being surveyed.
Oh, for sure.
So specifically, businesses report the total number of people who worked or received pay during the pay period. That includes the 12th of the month. So a couple of things. There's a couple of variables there.
Yeah, I think Mike makes a really good point. It will make people question, especially next couple of months, how real are these numbers when they come out? Because they always come out the first Friday after the month.
Mm-hmm.
So come the first Friday of September, we're all going to look and be like, well, who knows?
Yeah, you never know.
Right?
So we do have some comments on YouTube, Ron.
Great.
We have 536 votes right now on YouTube. Right now, 29% of you who voted say tempest in a teapot, not a big deal. 59% say outrageous. The bad jobs numbers weren't her fault. And 13% say don't like it, but it's who Trump is. He fires people. And then we have a couple of comments for you. So the knifed pawn says, if Taco didn't like, then he should do better at his own job.
Oh.
I'm not sure who Taco is.
Wow. Oh, Trump always chickens out.
There you go.
Right? That's
Thank
what
you.
that was.
I actually enjoy a good taco.
You know what I enjoy, and our viewers do too, is a good Dave cam.
Big Dave,
you've been looking at comments. What are you seeing?
That's right. Yeah, there are some great comments on both sides. Tom28714 says, your premise is wrong. He fired her because she was corrupt. She had Biden creating 1 million jobs that never existed. And then this one, I just think so comical and fantastic. In Texas says, what it means is you can be sure the next job report numbers will be numbers you never even thought were possible. 600%, 1,500%. Grown men with tears in their eyes will say, sir, you have the most beautiful numbers, the likes of which no one has ever seen. So amazing comments on both sides. People are really passionate.
There you go.
Keep the comments coming. Keep the engagement up, guys.
Yeah. I mean, Mike, it's a good point. I mean, 200,000 new jobs created 1 month. That's good. But if we get 1.8 million next month.
Yeah, and it needs to be, the press release will be the best ever. You know?
All right, Big D. Thank you. Celeste, any other comments? We got a break coming up, but go for it.
Well,
See anything else?
I think that Big D kind of covered it. Yeah,
okay,
for
good.
sure.
That's great. All right. So the other thing we wanted to chat about, but we got a break, and then we'll be back here with more, is why are cereal sales dropping, at least in one kind of generation? Are we talking about the baby boomers? Are we talking about Gen X, Gen Z? Who are we talking about?
Gen Alpha now. They've got all kinds of gens.
Yeah. So those numbers are changing around. I don't know about you, Mike. I love doing this show, but I'd rather be on that golf course right now.
Oh, yeah.
Look at
Something
that.
always nice about being away.
Okay. Stick with us. A lot more of Fox 10 Talks after the break.
Am I here? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
All right, we can hear you.
It's 10:30. Welcome back, everybody. This is the 2-hour extravaganza. Once we wrap up our morning news and before we get out of here for the noon news, we just talk about the big stories all morning long.
We do.
Yeah. And we have a new entrant today, Celeste, from Fox 10 Talks. I hope this won't be the last time we see him, that's for sure. It's Rudy Koski.
Hey, Rudy.
Who is joining us from the newsroom at our sister station in Austin, Texas. Morning, Rudy. How you doing?
Morning, everyone. What a day, or afternoon here in Austin, Texas. It's time for some brisket and sausage for lunch.
Now you're talking.
Okay, now hold on one moment. My cousin lives in a little town called Bee Cave, and I went out to visit her, and we never got brisket. Where is the must-go-to place in Austin for brisket?
Well, over there in Bee Cave, there's the Schmitz family barbecue restaurant, which is connected to the family, one of the families in Lockhart. So you could just stay there in Bee Cave and have some great barbecue there, or you could do Terry Black's in Austin, Kent Black's, Cooper's, or road trip on down to Lockhart and get the full mecca of the great pilgrimage road to a barbecue. There in Lockhart, where you have Blacks and Schmitz and Kreitz and a lot of good barbecue. So you can't go wrong. Just come on down to Central Texas and don't read all those crazy guides. Just let your taste bud guide you.
Wow. Hopefully we're all writing this stuff down because he just went off on a list. Nice work, Rudy.
Well, the beauty of being on YouTube is you can scrub back 1 minute and take all the notes you want. Rudy with the 411.
The big rub for me is that all my landmarks around here are barbecue joints.
That's great.
If you want directions.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about this crazy story that's coming in this morning, Rudy, because the question in Austin, the state capital, is where are all the Democrats? They fled the state in an effort, kind of a last-ditch effort to try to stop a redistricting plan by Republicans. The president there reportedly expressed his interest to the governor, Greg Abbott, like, hey, you know what? You guys have the power in Texas to redraw the congressional lines, and maybe that'll help Republicans. Go ahead and kind of walk us through the backstory and where things stand as of right now.
Yeah, this is a rare, it's been done before, but it is a rare mid-decade redistricting. You know, of course, all redistricting everywhere happens after the big census every 10 years. And you, based on your population shifts in your state, wherever you may be, you need to go and recalculate where all these districts should be and based on your population. And so, as you mentioned, President Trump suggested to Governor Greg Abbott a few weeks ago that, you know, hey, it's going to be could be a close 2026 midterm election. I sure would like to have some extra help. And Trump carried several districts in South Texas, and he suggested that up to maybe 5 new districts could be created, redrawn, that would lean toward the GOP candidate there, and give him some extra cushion in that very narrow number up on Capitol Hill. So that's how that kind of got started along that line. Once again, very rare, but it has been done mid-decade redistricting. Every redistricting in Texas has been contentious over the past couple of years, and attempts of trying to do this. So this is nothing new. Walkouts, nothing new under the Texas Capitol Dome.
Well, you know, how likely do you believe that their efforts will, come to fruition, that they'll actually be successful?
Syleste, Snowball in that place below the barbecue pit has
Rudy keeping it PG here on our PG chat show. Good.
Oh my goodness, so great.
They haven't had much success. We've had a walkout in 2021. That was over some voting reform proposals that eventually got passed. The Democrats bolted for D.C. and had meetings there and rallies there in Washington, D.C. Eventually had to come back, and the voting reforms were passed through by the Republicans. 2013, we had a very big debate over abortion laws. State Senator Wendy Davis at the time did a nearly 13-hour filibuster in the Senate, gained a lot of attention, media attention nationwide. But that bill eventually passed. 2003, looking at my notes, another redistricting effort that the Democrats didn't like, they bolted, eventually came back, and that redistricting happened. The only successful walkout that we've had in recent history, you got to go all the way back to 1979, where we had a group of 6 Democrat senators, state senators, bolt and break quorum over an effort to change the primary date, presidential primary date in Texas, supposedly to help then Governor John Connally in the presidential primary run. They bolted. They went and hid out here in Austin, hid out in a garage of all places here in Austin. Eventually, the bill got taken down. They came back. And that is the lone big win of any kind of walkout that we've had in recent history.
Wow, it's pretty amazing. How have you seen, I know you're in Austin, how have you seen Austin change, not just politically, but maybe socially? I mean, a lot of Californians over the course of COVID, they moved to Austin.
Ooh, good question. Has that changed the politics?
Right.
At all?
I mean, you have a big comedy scene there in Austin as well now,
True,
right? I mean,
true.
a lot of Californians have moved to Austin.
Yeah, and on behalf of the Chamber of Commerce, stop coming. Please stop coming. It's the big migration. A lot of people have fallen in love with Austin. You come here, it's very easy. It's a beautiful city.
It is gorgeous.
Beautiful city. I got here in 2003. I grew up in Houston and North Texas and running from the law from other states, but we won't get from there. But Austin has changed. It's no longer the hippy-dippy, fun little college town that Matthew McConaughey made famous with, with all his little hijinks.
Yeah.
And when I got here, our big skyscraper at the time, when I got here in 2003, was the Frost Bank Tower, which is, not much of a skyscraper, quite honestly. Now, where there's buildings towering all over the place, and we just did a story about what's going to be the largest building high-rise here in Texas that's being built here in Austin. So the dynamics of Austin politically has changed with the skyline here in Austin. And we went from really cool, laid back, hippy-dippy Democrat, peace, love, Bobby Sherman, to more of a progressive, combative group that you see on the West Coast and East Coast.
By the way, Rudy, that is our first Bobby Sherman reference. Julie, 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 do you love me?
Well, and Matthew McConaughey. My goodness.
Okay, we love having you on the show. We hope you'll join us again. We'll be watching Austin closely today. Thanks, Rudy.
Thanks, Ru.
Yeah, 3:00 Central Time. That's when they gavel back in, and we'll see who's going to show up.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Have a great day. Thanks for your time.
We have discovered a new potential star for politics.
He's
here.
amazing.
Well, we have this national and worldwide audience, so I'm sure they loved Rudy. That's for sure. Hey, by the way, Celeste, I just thought I would mention, I was looking into it. Did you know, on the other side, that in California, Gavin Newsom has expressed a willingness to pursue what they call mid-cycle redistricting to potentially ask the legislature to redraw congressional lines or even calling a special session. So there are states, in fact, New York is another one where they've proposed a new constitutional amendment to allow some additional redistricting. So there are other states that are blue that are also looking at doing the same thing.
Okay, you bring up a good point. I wonder if that's because someone is looking to run for office in the future.
Yes.
And are they looking to change the districts in which those voters vote because they want those districts to vote in that direction?
That's a really good question.
I mean,
know.
things, politically speaking, you have to look like 5 years in the future to go, okay, what are your intentions here?
Now, Celeste, let's not go 5 years in the future. Let's go to breakfast tomorrow. Do you eat cereal anymore?
Where are we going to breakfast, Ron? And does your wife and my husband know you're asking me to breakfast?
Sure. We can go over to Bosa Donuts anytime.
Thank you.
Right? No, but look at the cereal aisle. This is interesting. And we'll bring Dave. We're going to loop him in as well.
Yes.
Cereal sales are on the decline. Analysts say the younger generation is opting for healthier options like protein shakes and yogurt cups And Gen Z especially is way more of like an avocado toast or just give me some eggs with some fruit. And they think that it's a generational shift when it comes to cereal. Do you guys, either you and Gare or the kids, eat cereal in your house anymore?
No cereal.
Really?
We don't even buy it anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why is that? Is it because of the cost or because you think it's not so healthy?
Probably the health portion.
Okay.
And then when you read what the ingredients are,
Sure.
it's like 20,000 words you can't pronounce. So
Right.
so our kids actually, they do protein shakes, they do eggs and toast.
All right.
You know, easy stuff, yogurt. They do yogurt parfaits, like get granola and they do yogurt and granola.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's like, you know, cereals, some of it's not that great for you. What about you guys?
We really don't do a lot of it. But of course, you know, I'm out the door so early in the morning, I don't know for sure. But I do occasionally see
Did
some
you grow
cereal.
up on a certain cereal?
Oh, yeah. It was, you know what Corn Pops is
Oh,
today?
yes,
Back then they called it Sugar Pops.
Oh.
There's still sugar in it, but
Yes.
now they have to call it Corn Pops because apparently that's healthier.
Well,
I don't know.
people won't buy it if it's called Sugar Pops.
Yeah.
I grew up on Fruity Pebbles and Captain Crunch
Oh,
and
did
Frosted
you?
Mini Wheats.
Yeah.
I'm sure the ingredient list has changed, though, over the course. We have a Big D.
Let's bring Big D in on this convo. Are you guys cereal eaters or have you kind of stepped away as well?
My daughter is a giant cereal eater. She loves Frosted Flakes and Honey Nut Cheerios. Has a bowl probably every single morning, so we get our fill there. I myself am a little bit more of a fan of granola with some Greek yogurt.
There you
Trying
go.
to be a little smidge healthier than the cereals, but you know, you do what you can.
He's got to keep up that fighting weight.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does.
Big red
D.
machine.
You know, the irony is when I was at the grocery store this weekend, I bought myself some cereal. I bet I haven't
Wow.
had cereal in like 5 years.
What kinds?
And I was looking around. It's like one of the healthy crunch ones. You know how a bunch of them say healthy crunch?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Crispy Crunch.
I think it was from Post. But I said, I'm going to try. If you look on the back of those cereal boxes to try to get the highest protein and the lowest sugar, it's a lot of work.
I think so too.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, and look at all the, did you put up that image of the cereal aisle, Ron?
Okay, yeah,
I mean,
we got it.
It is so challenging to try. How much, I mean,
Yeah.
you're going to spend all morning inside or afternoon in the cereal aisle.
If you try to read those tiny little labels, that's for
Yeah.
sure. Although I like Mr. Paul Valine, who jumps in and says, I have cereal, but I don't really need, or I don't eat it too much. And little philosophy is like, I get the yogurt and granola for a little bit of dessert. How about that?
I'm going to go with Mr. Pavline on this as well. He said chicken and waffles.
Sweet. Okay, love it. And we're back in 2 more minutes. Welcome back. Welcome back, everybody, to Fox 10 Talks. It's where in Alabama? Oh, it's in Alabama. It is raining cats and dogs in
Okalaka.
Okalaka. Okay.
Oh, okay.
In Opelika.
Opa.
Okay.
Opa.
I got to brush up on my Bama pronunciations. I have been, and I know you have too, to Tuscaloosa.
Yes.
And my wife, Renee, actually was raised up by Huntsville because her dad worked on the moonshot program up there at the Redstone Arsenal. And
yes.
yeah, she was raised there in a little town called Decatur. Celeste, I was so bummed. You know, there are people that you just learn to love as movie stars or TV stars. And then over the years, you just kind of, I haven't heard about that person in 10 years or 15 years. And I think in that category is, what's she saying?
He was a flyer, Navy Air, and celebrating this day in the islands. But today we're here with my parents' best friends, and they've been married 72 years. They were married during the war as my...
Oh, that's so great.
That is very cool.
Sometimes with the VOs, as we call them, the video, we don't know if we're going to get any sound or not, but it was nice just to hear from her, hear her sweet voice. She passed away over the weekend. Publicist says that she died in L.A. just a few days before her 80th birthday. Apparently, she'd had a prolonged illness, but she was such a fixture on American TV and the cover of People magazine and everything else back in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, what was it? KRP
in Cincinnati.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So she also had another show called Stoker Ace. That one's kind of on the dust heap of shows that weren't huge, but that's where she met Burt Reynolds. And they got married, and she said the best thing to ever come out of my time with Bert was the son that we, of course, today is probably in his 40s, was the son that we had together back in those years.
Aww.
So anyway, sad to report that she has since passed, but a lot of fond memories of watching WKRP in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
There, to this day, when there's any kind of a skirmish, let's say, in the newsroom.
Oh, yes.
Because, like, your space ends here and the next person's space ends there, or Celeste and I were across from each other on cubicles.
And so I'll be talking to Ron. He's like, excuse me, what?
Yeah, right. And so we have our space. Well, it was like a continued bit on the show that the newsman Les Nessman had to put tape, like masking tape.
Oh, I remember this part
around
of the sitcom.
His cubicle area, and no one could cross into it. That was Les Nessman. And to this day, I always think about, anytime, like, it's usually me spilling over to somebody else's desk. Oh, I'm breaking the Les Nessman rule.
We should put some tape out. See if anybody notices.
In honor of WKRP.
Yeah, in honor of her and her passing.
So when it comes to these kinds of shows, Celeste, if you want to jump in on the chat and see if people have favorite memories of old sitcoms, because it was such a classic.
We have had some great responses.
Oh, already?
Already.
Okay.
So I threw this into the chat, so if you have an idea you want to share, please do so.
Perfect.
I believe it's Mike Payson. Somebody from Live Now upstairs, they're saying MASH, Seinfeld, The Office, Big Bang Theory. Those are some of the ones that were their favorites.
Sure.
MASH and Seinfeld, too. Those, I think. Yeah. And The Office was so huge, and then it made a big resurgence once it went back to streaming.
Yeah.
Patricia Randolph said for her, it's The Brady Bunch, which is a classic. Friends, Seinfeld, and The Office as well. Mr. Pavline, Malcolm in the Middle. And so Jens Wall says, I loved the Muppet Show. Remember the movies, the Muppet movies they would release as well?
Yeah.
I watched those as a kid. I remember those.
Sure.
Mr. Pavline said Jeffersons. Oh,
okay,
I'm moving on up.
Moving on up.
To the east side.
Yeah.
Or what was the Sanford and Sons? Did you ever watch
was
that?
A fun
that was
one.
a funny one.
What about Three's Company?
I loved.
Oh, did you love Three's Company?
That was one of my favorite ones.
Yeah?
Yes.
we're going to go to Dave on the Dave Cam here in about 30 seconds. But you guys want to keep sharing your memories of great old sitcoms. Beverly Hillbillies.
Yes.
Come and listen to a story about a man named Jed. Yeah. I mean, I just loved that show. Celeste, the best thing about being a kid back in the 60s was when you were homesick. We had no TiVo or no way to record shows. But if you were homesick, in the middle of the day, you could watch the Clampetts, right?
Yeah.
On Beverly Hillbillies. And then the other one for me was Barney Fife in the Andy Griffith shows.
That one was
Mayberry.
black and white. Did it ever go to color? It was only black and white?
It did, but that's when it became Mayberry RFD and there was no more Barney, and it just wasn't as good.
That's where he was talking to the horse, right? He was like, the horse was in there. And I just remember this horse in a barn and black and white. Because as a TV, like I was a latchkey kid.
Okay.
My mom was a single mom, so I'd come home and watch stuff on the on TV. And I remember just this horse in a barn.
Now, was that Mr. Ed?
Maybe it was Mr. Ed. Yeah.
So the guy would go out and talk to the talking horse every day, and we all thought it was totally normal. We bought in.
Everybody did.
I mean, there also was a show once called The Flying Nun with Sally Field, where a nun flew around and solved crimes.
Wow.
So
was that by praying the rosary? What's happening? Big D.
All right, Dave. What memories do you have of classic old sitcoms?
Well, so many good ones out there. I just have to mention, because I haven't seen it in all the comments, and again, great comments, guys, is I Love Lucy. You gotta have a little Lucille Ball, some Desi Arnaz, Vivian Vance. Just such a classic, and always will make you laugh out loud. But so many good sitcoms to go through. You could spend hours talking about
Scottsdale Coyote says, seriously, what about Gilligan's Island?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And Mr. Paul Verlaine with another one, Charles in Charge.
What were the two friends, the females, that would walk hand in hand near the town?
Oh, Laverne and Shirley.
Thank you, Laverne and Shirley. I loved Laverne and Shirley.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a fun one. And it was coming out of another one I don't think we've mentioned yet, which was Happy Days.
Yeah, Happy Days.
Right? Yeah.
And then there was a few other. There were so many good sitcoms.
One quick memory from Happy Days. So again, it's late 70s. Going into early 80s, but being able to record shows. I remember coming downstairs, Celeste, at my dorm room in college.
Oh, okay.
And first couple of years, I went to and graduated from UW, University
was that a
of
co-ed
Washington.
dorm room? Co-ed?
It was co-ed.
Wow, the parties that were had.
We were separated by floors.
I'll
just point out, I was on the 5th floor. The ladies were up on 6.
We're going to have a whole show about Ron's dorm life one of these days.
But I remember coming downstairs, and I walk out there, and I guess the elevator had opened, and there must have been a crowd of 100 people in the lobby. And I'm like, what's going on? And then I remembered, I think it was Thursday night at 8 o'clock. And I'm like, Happy Days is on. So back in those days, very few people had TVs in their dorm rooms, so you had to go down to the lobby, and it was like a huge crowd. It was happening to watch Happy Days.
Oh, wow.
With Fonzie and the gang.
And with everybody else.
Yeah,
You're
I
all
know.
watching it together.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
so,
great.
okay,
Good
you
stuff.
guys, thanks.
We have a couple of others real quick, Ron.
Yeah, sure.
Hogan's Heroes.
Mm-hmm. Loved Hogan's Heroes.
We have a Saved by the Bell from Mr. Paul Verlaine, and we have an A-Team as well. The George Lopez Show kind of made an appearance here as well. Facts of Life. There's Wallace and Ladmo. There's so many good
wow.
ones.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's talk about a few other stories here before we run out of time. And I don't know if you guys at home saw this video or not, but there was somebody out riding their bike on the freeway. Look at this guy. Okay, timestamp. It's 4 p.m.
Oh, my goodness.
And this is Saturday afternoon. And it looks like he's right up against the concrete barrier that seems so dangerous, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. What is happening? So is this guy like cross-country biking?
I don't think so.
You know?
I will just say, Celeste, I did a not cross-country bike ride, but I've talked about it from the Grand Canyon to Yellowstone up in Wyoming. And I knew you couldn't go on freeways. It's like a rule, an unwritten rule. So we always made sure that we were on 2-lane highways or 4-lane roads, but never on a freeway. That's just way too dangerous. The guy finally got off at 43rd Avenue, but holy cow.
That's really dangerous.
Yeah, it is.
Very, very dangerous. So we don't know much about who he is or what happened. Just that he got off okay.
Just that he got out of the whole situation alive. But let's just say, by the way, I'm sure it was like 107 when that happened.
Oh my goodness!
108,
at least
something, and you're out on the concrete.
Well, if that's you, if you're in the chat this morning and that was you, let us know.
And also, let's talk about Dairy Queen, because there's this report. It came out this morning in Celeste Story of the Day. And wait a sec. Hold on. Oh, what VO am I looking for, Big D? VO10. Somehow that's popping up as that guy, so we don't want to do that.
No, this
and
guy.
And then we got the guy on the bike.
He's very
anyway,
studious. This guy, he's a leader, maybe.
He's okay.
There it is.
Good. There we go. All right. Here's why we're talking about it. You're not actually eating what the government considers official ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
You may have noticed the words ice cream not written anywhere in their shops or on their website.
Mm-hmm.
It's because it doesn't fit the federal government's definition of ice cream. Their food, their ice cream, quote unquote, is 5% milk fat.
Mm-hmm.
By law, to be considered ice cream, you got to have 10% milk fat.
Oh.
But here's the thing, Celeste. Being diabetic, I test my blood sugar numbers all the time.
Yes.
And I have noticed that if I try to eat ice cream from other places, it spikes my blood sugars higher than if I go to DQ.
Interesting.
So I thought that was really interesting as well. And by the way, it's about as tasty. I've often wondered, why is it different? Because it is so tasty.
Did you look up? I have the ingredient list.
Here we go.
This is
we
according...
have 1 minute left on the show. I'm sure this is going to run a while.
Milk, non-fat milk, sugar, corn syrup, whey, additives like monodiglycerides, guar gum, polysorbate 80, carrageenan, and artificial flavor.
Did you say polysorbate 80? That's one of my favorite polysorbates.
And that's probably what keeps you running, Ron.
What's that, Anita?
I like 70, polysorbate 79.
Oh, see, yeah. Always the contrarian.
I feel like this is where we should just start making our own ice cream.
Yeah, no kidding.
Let's do that. Let's do that in the bistro.
Cream.
Yeah.
Right? Milk.
Yes.
We don't need a lot of it. Vanilla.
I know.
It's healthier
for
you.
To me, my number one favorite treat on the planet is a chocolate dipped cone. I think you're cherry dipped.
Cherry dipped,
right?
Ron.
Anita, how about you?
I like the Snickers Blizzard.
Ooh. Would you like a cap with that, ma'am?
Oh, man.
Yes,
they hang it upside down.
That's good stuff right there.
Okay, well, we got just a few seconds left. Tell us about your big 11 o'clock show.
Justin Timberlake, everyone knows who that is, came out over the weekend and said he has Lyme disease. One of our very own reporters, Irene Snyder, has Lyme disease, has lived with it for many, many years.
Wow.
So we're going to talk to her about what it really does to the body.
Okay. Looking forward to it,
It's
Anita.
all coming up
Thanks for watching,
with
everyone.
Anita and Ty.
All right, it's 11 o'clock, which means Foxton Talks keeps on rolling.
It certainly does.
Here on YouTube and the Fox local app.
Good morning to everyone at home. We have people asking about shirts, and Dave is looking into it, and I think he's going to respond to you guys because he is the one who is...
I had some viewers send me selfies of them wearing their cool shirts.
Already?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I love it.
How neat is that?
There you go.
Okay, so Justin Timberlake was...
Before we get to that, let's talk about the other story that she was on this morning. You're going to do a double whammy if you don't mind, Irene.
Different stories
I know,
this morning.
I love that. Let's talk about that story you were on this morning because, man, for some of these parents, this is kind of a big shock. And this is the, correct me if I'm wrong, the Kyrene de la Sierra Elementary School.
Elementary school, yeah. So basically, they sent out an email on Friday, according to the school district officials. And then they said basically they're going to be doing some testing over the weekend for some particles in the air. And then on Sunday, yesterday afternoon, they sent out a follow-up email telling parents, hey, we're going to have to do remote learning for the week. So that obviously was something they tried to give some heads up, they said, by Friday. But the confirmation came yesterday. It's because of some roof construction they're doing right now. But we talked to a parent who lives right across the street. Thankfully, she said she has the kid's grandma. They're going to watch it. They're going to grandma's house. They're excited about that. But she said a lot of other parents are not so lucky. You know, what do you do?
Yeah.
So
last minute,
I know, last minute, that's going to be tough.
And you mentioned something, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you already said this, but they're going to be out of school until fall break, which is October 10th is when they finally get back, right?
Correct. So the remote learning is going to be this week, and then the goal for them is over the next few weeks up until that fall break is over, trying to find some alternative place for them to do in-person schooling. We asked them, are you going to try and keep all the kids in the same place in the Ahwatukee area? That's kind of their goal, to get everyone in one area.
Yeah.
So they're going to talk to local schools, see if there's a place they can do that so the kids can still get that in-person learning.
Wow.
Did they talk at all about what these particles are that they're testing for?
They didn't say exactly what the particles were. They did say that it might not even be harmful at all.
So if it's not harmful at all, would they allow them to come back sooner than later?
It didn't sound like that. I think they're planning right now on fall break as an abundance of caution is the way they worded it. They said they're basically going to try and get that construction done sooner rather than later. And not having the kids and the teachers and all the staff in the school is going to make them expedite that process.
When did the roof construction or work on the roof start?
They said it started a few months ago, so I believe it was around the time when school stopped, but they said 2 months was not long enough to finish that kind of roof construction. It usually takes about 6 months.
And I think when you have construction, things can happen at a moment's notice. So it's possible maybe they were checking the air quality, or maybe, they just decided last minute. Because I think a lot of parents were saying, why didn't they test this before coming back to school just last week?
Well, what they were saying is they had a parent-teacher conference, something like that, open house, and then there were a bunch of people in the school. They reported some kind of a smell.
Got it.
So that's why they ended up doing the testing on Friday and then came back on Sunday. They're still doing more testing to see if whatever those particles are is harmful or not. But either way, it sounds like they're going to really be cautious here and wait until after fall breaks. They can...
I know you were making calls and everything.
Sure.
Did they say that if maybe they do the testing and everything comes back clear, that they would let these kids back in sooner?
It doesn't sound like it at that point. I think they're going to wait until after fall break just to keep everyone, keep it clear too, so parents are clear exactly what's happening.
I mean, you've got to be careful with stuff like this, and obviously you've got little ones in there that are more susceptible to some of these, especially respiratory issues. So I guess they're just out of abundance of caution, but kind of leaves those poor parents kind of high and dry last minute. You know, we had some individuals at work here whose kids are part of this, and they were kind of like, I don't know what we're going to do. Calling grandma, we're calling neighbors, we're trying to figure out how to get these kids to do this online learning.
Exactly. And don't have grandma, grandpa.
Yeah.
Well, some people don't have them.
Some people were comparing this to COVID, when the kids went to online learning. But you had a lot of parents
that were
who
home.
were home working online, remote,
you don't have that
remote
now.
work. And so they were able to make all of that make that schedule work. And,
happen a little bit easier, right?
Unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be the case. So I think we're going to keep our eyes and ears open as to what transpires throughout.
Exactly. But the one
weeks.
interesting point the district did make is they said because they did COVID remotely, it helped them move more seamlessly into today because they kind of already knew.
They knew what to do.
We've done this before. Let's do it again just for a week.
Yeah. All right. So
well, if it's just 1 week, hopefully it doesn't get extended, and hopefully everyone's able to get their children to another location, whether it's busing or driving, because that's always tough as well.
Yeah.
Always tough as well.
All right, now let's talk about this because it was on Friday, I think, wasn't it? Or was it maybe Thursday? I can't remember the day.
I think it was Friday because I wasn't here Friday and I saw it for the first time over the weekend and was really surprised by it.
So Justin Timberlake came out and said that he was diagnosed with Lyme disease. And so a lot of folks were kind of reacting about this. And so we were like, what is Lyme disease? What do we know about it? And Irene, you just so happened to be, you were diagnosed with Lyme disease.
Tell us a little bit about how does one get Lyme disease?
Well, normally it's spread through ticks. I think there's some other research saying mosquitoes can carry it at some point too, but normally it's a tick-borne illness. And I was bit by a tick in like my upper thigh.
Do you remember that happening?
I don't remember being bit, but I remember the bite afterwards. So
How
I had
old
like
were
a
you?
real. I was a senior in college, so I was like 19, 20. I was 20, I believe. And I was volunteering at. I'm not sure if you know where Falling Water is. It's a place, Frank Lloyd Wright. It's in the woods, middle of nowhere in Pennsylvania, and woods. A lot of trees, area with a lot of ticks.
A lot of mosquitoes.
So I was wearing long pants, sneakers, just like they recommend to try and prevent that. You don't want to wear shorts in the summer, especially in Pennsylvania. I believe it's one of the top states in the country, if not the top state for Lyme disease. But afterwards, I noticed a bullseye rash, which is kind of, you can Google what those pictures, what those pictures look like. And I got tested, and sure enough, I think it was 5 strands of Lyme disease, which was, according to the doctors that diagnosed me, was a decent amount. And I had it for a little while before I realized. I didn't get tested right away. I had a conference that I was in college again. I was presenting at a conference in Seattle the week after this.
You're busy.
I didn't I didn't get tested right away either.
You mentioned a bullseye rash. What is that for people at home who may not know?
I guess you try and think of like it's probably easier to actually see it, but just describing, you can think of like a red dot in the middle and then kind of like clear around it and then another red line.
Like the target line.
Yeah, like a target line, like a bullseye.
Like
yeah,
a bullseye.
exactly.
Like that. Wow.
So that's kind of the
Did it itch? Did it hurt?
It itched. It was a little bit sore too. Mine was a little bit itchy. I think it depends on the case though. You know, some people don't get a bullseye at all and you just have the symptoms afterwards. But I remember the reason I got tested is I went into school like maybe 2 weeks after this, and I was a straight A student. I usually did really well, but then I went into my quiz and we took down notes for the day. Here's a quiz afterwards. For the first time in my entire life, I got a C on the quiz. I couldn't remember anything about that class. I looked back at my notes. I had brain fog. I couldn't remember what I learned that day, even though I took extensive notes and was paying attention. So I had to get treatment after that. My joints hurt. I was tired all the time.
Irene, what is the treatment like? What is that?
So normally they put you on a couple weeks of antibiotics, doxycycline. It's something similar, like if you have acne or something, they'll put you on that too. But in some cases, I mean, I'm not a doctor, I won't speak, but usually that's what they give you is doxycycline. But in my case, the symptoms didn't all go away after I did the couple weeks.
And you mentioned the brain fog. Can you go over kind of some of the other symptoms that you experienced?
It depends on the person, but fatigue, put it this way, I'm a big amusement park person. My family went to Hershey Park. I didn't feel like going on a single coaster. I just wanted to sit down, and that was so unlike me.
And you knew something was wrong.
Yeah, because that's not me. I had headaches. My knees hurt all the time.
Like joints?
Joint pain, yeah. That's a big thing with Lyme disease.
Which is odd for a 20-year-old.
Yeah, exactly. I was 20 at the time.
You're thinking, well, something's going on here.
Yeah, exactly.
And then how were you able to tie it back to all of that?
Well, I remember the fact that I had the rash, and then I went and got blood work, and that's when they were able to come back with the blood work and say, hey, you have Lyme disease.
So how do you treat it? Or do you not?
Well,
do you live with it, or?
The doxycycline is supposed to treat it, but it's kind of known for being dormant in the body in a way. Again, I'm not a doctor. I don't want to speak on behalf of doctors, but I will say it's never fully gone away from me. You can treat it, but then like it almost has flare-ups if I'm stressed, if I don't get enough sleep, things like that, have too much sugar, alcohol, things like that could really trigger it. Yeah.
You mentioned that you had how many strands?
5.
5 strands. So I guess if you're not... I don't know how to ask the question, but so you can only have one strand if you're bit by
I think
it kind of just depends on how
elevated it gets.
Okay.
I mean, it can
or how
affect
long
the
it goes.
heart. Yeah.
Okay. And so my uncle has Lyme disease as well, and we're from Illinois, so similar forests and stuff like that. And it took him a really long time. To get diagnosed, to the point where he was very depressed because he didn't know what was going on either, and it affects him to this day. This is probably like 20 years later.
Yeah, exactly.
Medication medication, but once it's in your body, it's always in your body.
That's my understanding. I mean, like I said, you treat it, and I think it goes kind of dormant in your system, but I won't speak for everybody, but I've had flare-ups now and again. I will say my younger brother got bit too. He got bit the back of his neck, so they treated him too, just like I did with doxycycline. He's been on a feeding tube. He's bedridden. He's been like that since he got diagnosed
and that's
at 16.
all as a result of the Lyme disease?
I mean, I won't say it's directly because of Lyme disease, but he got Lyme disease first, and then they treated that, and then it was symptoms after that. He got all these other things. He has small fiber neuropathy now. He can barely touch things. Like I said, feeding tube. He has something called POTS now, which affects like the heart and dizziness.
Yeah.
So a bunch of other things stem from him after that diagnosis. So
now, do you kind of know after living with this for so many years, kind of what your triggers are? So you're like, I need to make sure I'm getting those 8 hours of sleep. I know I'm not going to drink a lot of sugary drinks or things like that. Do you know kind of
just
what your triggers are?
Try and live like a healthy lifestyle. I think stress is probably the biggest one that really triggers.
Then why'd you become a reporter, Irene?
Why am I in this job?
A morning show reporter.
No sleep, no stress, man. I should be in bed all the time.
Well, man.
You have a therapy dog.
I do, yeah.
Does she help?
So we trained her to do some service work. So I won't get into all of how it's a long process to train, but we did a couple years. So if I ever get dizzy sometimes or I get lightheaded as a result, I trained her basically to do something called deep pressure therapy. And I'll say, hey, help. And I'll lay down and she'll lay on my chest. Kind of helps steady you a little bit. And helps it just kind of helps with the blood flow to the brain. So that's what I've done with her. People obviously can do different things. I think everyone has some different symptoms, depends on the person.
Linda's saying the Midwest can be affected as well, ticks in Arkansas, Missouri. Linda, and that's we're from Illinois. My uncle has it because he is a contractor, works on houses outdoors. So that's exactly what happened. I guess, I don't know, your best advice to someone who
has it or trying to prevent it?
Yeah, I mean, preventing it, we know, but it's difficult. They're pesky.
Yeah, I mean, as far as wear long pants, wear long socks, I don't go hiking in Pennsylvania anymore. I won't tell someone not to do that if they love it.
Absolutely.
But I personally enjoy hiking out here in the desert where I don't have to worry about ticks so much.
Yeah.
You have rattlesnakes, but no ticks.
Yeah, that's true.
Scorpions. Yeah.
But as far as dealing with it, I mean, maybe talk to someone else who has it, see a couple different people. I'll just say from what happened to me, the doxycycline wasn't enough to fully get rid of it. I ended up going on like a bunch of detoxes and stuff. Homeopathy helped me, so... Depends on the person. That didn't help my brother, but it helped me. So,
and that's interesting too. Everyone reacts so differently.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Well, Irene, thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
We were asking, we're like, are you sure it's okay that
it's
we ask you
fine.
about this? But we do appreciate this because I think it's really kind of telling and really interesting. Because I think a lot of people, especially here in Arizona, I mean, we don't really hear about Lyme disease too much. So when we get,
but it affects so many people in so many different ways.
Well, if you travel too, you could travel out of state and come back and get it. So
absolutely.
Well, Irene, thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Guess what we're talking about? Eggnog in August. We'll tell you why coming up. Thanks, Irene. Welcome on back. Fox 10 Talks continues. All right, guess what I have here?
Eggnog.
One of the very first bottles of eggnog to be produced from Shamrock Farms. Because guess what? They began production today in anticipation of the holidays.
Well, it's like last week, the Phoenix Zoo started hanging all the Christmas lights in
For zoo lights,
anticipation
yeah.
of zoo lights. So you have to get ready at some point, right?
I love everybody's already reacting. They either love it or they hate it. That was our poll question this
Sherry
morning.
Wolf does not like it. And Sherry, I don't recall ever really trying eggnog.
Well,
so
lucky for
Ty
you.
is going to force me, folks.
All right, here we
Sherry,
go.
I might be with you on this. With you on this
Do you want a
one.
small taste or a big taste?
That's
plenty. All right, hold on. We have to cheers. Hold on.
Oh, he's going to try it too. But you drink some.
I already tried it because I didn't want to puke on air.
So can you tell me what eggnog is made out of?
Milk, eggs?
Milk
I don't
and
know.
eggs.
All right, cheers.
Cheers. Merry Christmas.
It's not bad. It's good. Theirs is not. Shamrock's is good.
No, if Little Philosophy is asking no vodka or whiskey to top it off,
Well,
Ty,
I definitely
that
might be
be
helpful.
the only way I would be able to drink it.
It's not bad though. You're not into it?
No.
Okay. No. All
Can
right.
I see the ingredients?
Yes, you read the ingredients. And Danielle was out there earlier this morning, and so she sent back this.
It's just egg yolks. Are they raw? I'm gonna.
Oh, are we gonna get salmonella?
Yeah. Danielle Miller was out there, so we're gonna show you the
What she was out there at
behind the
Shamrock.
scenes while I Google the recipe.
Okay.
Yeah, Celeste, we would love you to come on down. Join the modeling crew here. The hairnet, hard hat. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. But this is so cool. This is the first day of production for Eggnog. You guys can see the entire process happening. So you see the empty bottles there. Those bottles will be filled and then make their way over here where they're going to get those, classic labels on them. Such a fun day here at Shamrock. Liz, this is a really busy day for you guys. You guys are kicking off the season, even though it's July and it's, 113, I think, today.
Absolutely. We are kicking off the season. We are producing. We go according to our retailer partners' needs, our consumers' needs, and the demand meets the eggnog. So we start production right now. We're going to be producing all the way through the holiday season. Today we've got the classic eggnog, but we've got pumpkin spice right on the way. So those pumpkin spice lattes, eggnog lattes are right around the corner. Going to be on the shelf very soon.
And I see thousands of bottles. I mean, how many bottles are we talking?
So this machine does 15,000 bottles an hour, but the whole season we're going to be producing over 1 million bottles.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, and that gets shipped out when? So right now we're the first day. What happens from here?
Yeah, so because our farm is so close, it's down in Stanfield, just a couple hours away, we can be farm to fridge in under 48 hours. Orders are going out this week, so you're going to see them on shelf very soon.
Amazing. And you guys can start making those pumpkin spice lattes, vanilla spice latte, you name it. And you guys have had these recipes for so many years.
Yes, they have been passed around over 4 generations. So we know what we're doing. We bring our delicious milk and cream, again, from our own farm. We combine spices, sugar, and eggs for that perfectly creamy, delicious, tasty Shamrock Farms eggnog that you know and love.
Yeah, amazing. And you guys are in so many stores across the state.
Yes, every Arizona retailer, your favorite one, we're going to be there for sure. We're also shipping nationwide now. So if you're on vacation, grab one. Grab one for the family tradition, you know?
And I love the little to-go ones. These, the little cute 12 ounces.
It's adorable. You know, we like to call it grab it and go. Eggnog on the go is great. But also, if you're kind of wanting to try eggnog, it's a great trial size. And then go ahead and grab the 32 ounce because you know you're going to love it.
Yeah.
So it's delicious.
Yeah, and you were saying, I mean, what a good thing to do is this can be used as coffee creamer.
Absolutely. So we were saying you got to have the frother. So put the cream in there, the eggnog, froth it up, add it to your favorite coffee or even espresso eggnog latte at home. You can't even get a pumpkin spice latte quite yet, so bring it home.
Yeah, Shamrock is providing that.
We are, and I'm going to make mine iced because it's pretty hot out.
It is, but we're going to fake fall.
Yes, I absolutely love
Fake
it.
it till we make it.
Yeah, and it's not just coffee. People are putting in their baked goods. They're putting it in their cocktails. There's kind of endless options. If you go to Shamrock Farms Milk on Instagram, we love to post our fans.
Amazing. All right, we found a catwalk, guys. We're going to get up on the catwalk. Come on, Liz.
Well, that was fun behind the scenes. I found the recipe: 6 large eggs, half a cup of sugar, whipping cream, 2 cups of milk, nutmeg, salt, vanilla grounds, and you do, alcohol is optional, type. You do cook it in a saucepan over medium heat.
All right.
So that's
well,
fine.
there you go. So if you're ready, they're going to be making it. I cannot get over our next guest, you guys.
Oh, eggnog cookies says little philosophy. Sorry.
Oh, there you go. Today is National Wildlife Day, so we thought, why not have our friends from the Wildlife World Zoo come hang out with us here, Danielle.
And you brought...
This is Siona, and she is our ambassador fennec fox. And so she is used to going out on outreaches, coming out for our animal encounter shows. And she's just a really amazing ambassador for those wild counterparts so people can, gain a new appreciation for wildlife and want to conserve these animals and protect them in their natural environment.
I'm sorry, look at those 2 front little legs
Look at that.
now.
Look at the picture we have up right now. I mean, she is the cutest thing I think I have ever seen.
And was she born at the zoo?
She was not. So she actually came in from another facility when she was just a few months old. And so that way, because she was so young and she had a very, very calm temperament, we were able to work with her to where she's comfortable in new environments, she's comfortable with new people. And that is what we're looking for when we look for those ambassador animals. It's really important to have those ambassadors so people can, connect with them and gain that greater appreciation. So,
and that's what I was going to ask you. The ambassadors are really pivotal to helping people understand wildlife.
Definitely. And we have a ton of hands-on opportunities for people to interact with wildlife. So we have not only our animal encounter shows, we have our sea lion shows daily as well.
Cool.
But we also have our Lori parrot feeding, which was the first ever in the world established at Wildlife World. So pretty exciting.
So Mickey, who started the zoo back in 1984, well, basically, when he was a little boy, and we have some video, you guys. I did the most amazing, one of my favorite pieces ever. That's Justin Timberlake.
That's Justin Timberlake.
Mickey was
I'm
also
sorry.
handsome, though. But I did one of my favorite pieces ever with Mickey. Mickey passed away a couple of years ago. When he was a little boy, he was home sick from school. And he drew a map of a zoo that he one day wanted to open. And many, many, many years later, fast forward, he had opened Wildlife World Zoo. His mom passed away, and his aunt called him and said, Mickey, I have a box of your mom's stuff. So he went and got it, and in that box was the drawing of the zoo, which just so happened, and this gives me chills every time I tell the story, is almost the same layout as the original Wildlife World Zoo.
That's cool.
Incredible, right?
It's like his dream was realized.
Yeah. So he loved birds and parrots, and that's actually how he came to purchase 30 acres in the West Valley, which he then named Wildlife World Zoo. Sold some birds to Walt Disney World's Resort Discovery Island.
Oh,
so he has
cool.
this. So you can go into what kind of birds?
The Lori parrot.
Lori parrot. You hold apples in your hand. They land all over your body and gently snack on the apples.
That's cool. And guess what? Danielle brought the actual map. We have it here.
Thank you.
Where do you keep this, Danielle?
So this is in Mickey's original office. So actually, after you did talk to him.
The funny thing is, the morning that I went to go interview Mickey, we said, Mickey, where's the map? He's like, I don't know. He had it buried at the bottom of a drawer. Yeah. That's it.
The original map.
Yeah, that's the original map. Yeah. And then there's the map of wildlife. It's since changed. It's grown so much. Isn't that amazing?
That is really cool.
I love that story so much.
Danielle, I wanted to ask you, since today is, oops, watch me break this.
He's going to break it.
Where is that? Oh, you mentioned it's in the office. Since it is Wildlife Day,
yes.
What got you personally interested in doing this? And by the way, you probably have the coolest job. I always, whenever we talk to you or Christy, I'm like, they get to just hang out with some of the coolest creatures, and
beautiful
you get like
animals.
up close and personal. What was your backstory? How did you get into this?
So I have always loved animals when I was a kid, and obviously I played with dolls and that kind of thing, but I also played with like those little like plastic animals and like stuffed animals with my friends. And so I just always had a strong appreciation for wildlife and grew up, moved out to Arizona when I was about 8 or 9 years old. Originally went to San Diego Zoo a lot and just other wildlife parks that were nearby. And as soon as we moved out here, and when I was about 8 or 9, we got our passes to Wildlife World, and it just became a home away from home for me. And it was my happy place.
Yeah.
And there was a long time where I was going like once a week, and I have younger sisters, so eventually they're like, oh, we don't really want to walk around. So then I would just go, and just seeing the incredibly diverse collection that is at Wildlife World. It is Arizona's largest exotic animal collection. and just the diversity of those amazing animals and having those hands-on opportunities really greatly inspired me. And I think Mickey's love for birds definitely inspired my love for birds.
You
as
love
well.
birds.
Yeah.
Those are your babies.
So it's I have a picture of me when I was about 8 or 9, and I'm in the Lori parrot feeding, and I have them all over me.
That's
and
cool.
It just was so inspiring to have somewhere with such diverse wildlife.
Now, did you think when you were 8 or 9 that you'd actually end up working there and having this type of job?
Yeah,
Look at
absolutely
that
not. I always dreamed of something like that, but I
Yeah.
never really thought I could until I started volunteering, which is how a lot of our staff members have started, is volunteering and building those bonds and getting that hands-on experience. And it's just really incredible to see like a group of such passionate people. It feels like a family working
Oh,
there.
I bet.
So.
Yeah.
You mentioned that's how other staff got the job and started working. So Christy Hayden, someone that we all know very well because she has also done a lot of television spots and interviews with us. That's exactly how she started as well. She started volunteering and then learning and moving her way up. So that was great. And Little Philosophy is asking, how can a young kid get involved or get started, maybe get a job at the zoo or start volunteering?
Yeah, so every summer, the last couple of summers, we have started our summer camps. They have ended this year, unfortunately, but it was so much fun. So we have our several weeks with the younger age group, and then we have a couple of weeks with the older age group for our career camp. So definitely something to look into for summertime. Kids are off school, great time
Yeah,
to come
for
out,
sure.
learn a ton, and have really unique experiences.
And the coolest thing, you guys are open 365 days a year, which I think is just
Yes.
mind-boggling. Where else can you go on Christmas morning? That's open. Yeah,
That's a good idea.
You can start a tradition, right?
Yeah.
I was going to ask you too, since we got you here, I love to ask kind of like the personal questions. Is there an animal that you're like, oh, I get to hang out with this one? Or is there one that you're like, oh boy, not a big fan?
Honestly, I have a really strong appreciation for all of them. Personally, I have the least amount of experience with our hoofstock animals. They're just very different from the animals that I work with. But, being able to advocate for those amazing animals, I've learned so much. And just, it's really driven me to have a more diverse understanding of, wildlife.
Yeah.
And so that's been really interesting to learn.
So hoofstock would be like giraffes?
Yeah, so giraffes, gazelles, most of the hoofed animals.
Yeah.
They're just so different, and they're absolutely beautiful, and I love seeing them at sunset. It's my favorite.
Oh,
time
yeah,
of day.
the
Just-
giraffes.
Yeah.
We have about 20 seconds.
Yeah.
How do people find you? How do they get tickets? So on. 10 seconds.
So we are open.
No pressure.
303 in Northern. You can come out 365 days a year. We're open with our summer hours starting at 8 a.m. through the summertime.
Amazing. Thank you.
And what was her name again?
Siona.
Siona. Thanks for coming in, Siona.
Thank
So
you, guys.
cute. All right. We'll be back tomorrow. Have a good one. Oh, well, hold on.
No.
Des and Ron are here.
Yes.
And Fox 10 Talks continues. All right, this is Opelika, and it is raining in the south from Alabama all the way down to Florida. It is a wet and soggy day, Des, and I look at these pictures and I say to myself, if we could just have a couple inches of that rain to cool us off and to douse some of these fires, it would just be the best.
Oh, especially up north. They could really use some moisture in the air for sure.
right?
But what is the saying? You always want what you don't have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's in this case,
That's
right?
exactly right. And they're probably sick of all the rain down there. But I just got some pictures. I think everybody, our usuals, our regulars, you guys are going to love this. I just got some pics. Maybe I can turn them around for tomorrow from Isabella.
Yeah, what she got?
She's up in Seattle.
Oh, nice.
And we
it's
both
wet up there.
Yeah. It's so cold that she and her mom went to, there's this fish and chips place that we love up there. It's called Ivers. And so she sent me a couple of pictures from Ivers. It's cold enough to wear your sweatshirts up there right now.
Oh, boy.
Is
What
that
is the temp
nuts?
in Seattle right now?
I wouldn't be surprised if it's in the, say, like right now, below 70, possibly.
Oh, yeah, I was just like, 63. You're right, Dave.
63 degrees?
No, that's definitely sweater weather.
Sure it is.
Yeah, and my
Sweater,
friends.
sweatshirt, that kind of a thing.
Do we have her photos?
Nope.
You're gonna-
No, I just got them on my phone. But for tomorrow,
okay, yeah, we'll have
hold
to
on here.
get those.
I got to get our microphones
I have friends
back
that are
up.
in the South because, I moved here from Nashville.
Yeah.
When it gets below 70 there, they're in sweaters.
Wow.
That's just,
Is that
right? It's all relative.
amazing? Yeah, no kidding. All right, well, anyway, welcome. This is the next half hour of Fox 10 Talks. Ron and Des, we have another great half hour lined up for you guys. A lot of really interesting stuff to get to. And Des, we're going to start by going to our buddy Eric with TMZ.
Yes,
there
we
have been
love
a lot
Eric.
of interesting new developments. Just,
Hey, bud.
It's kind of a go-to every day to just check their website because, of course, they break half these stories that the rest of the country
Oh, my gosh. They're so on top of
ends
it.
up talking about. Eric, what's going on with Diddy? Why is he back in the news now?
Listen, I don't think Diddy's going anywhere from the news anytime soon. I think you're gonna have to just get used to him being in headlines every day. But we do have an update. Obviously, the bail hearing is set for this week, and we will find out the fate of Diddy as far as will he get some time out before he's sentenced. And Gina, who was known as victim number 3 throughout the trial, a former girlfriend of Diddy, came out with a statement in defense of him being released on bail. And she said a lot of things in the statement, but one of the more interesting things was he now embodies an energy of love that she, says, yes, he made mistakes and she's been open about the mistakes he's made physically against her. But now she's kind of turning a new leaf and saying that he embodies love and that it does not change who he is to her and that he can enter the community and he's not a danger to the community. So I don't know if we all feel that way, but that's what his ex-girlfriend is saying.
I know. Wait, let me read that because I read the letter and it's just interesting, right? Given all of the facts involved in this case here. But she said, by the time our relationship ended, he embodied an energy of love, patience, and gentleness that was markedly different from his past behavior. I mean, those are pretty strong words. What do you think this letter... How impactful do you think this letter could actually be with the judge here in this case?
I don't know because she went silent during the case. Obviously, prosecutors were trying to get her to testify. She was not having it.
She didn't show up, right?
We know the judge has been pretty hard on Diddy as far as sentencing. I think the judge sees the full picture of this situation. I don't know if he's going to be swayed by one letter. But we've seen her. She's been pretty outspoken recently. She's not afraid of him getting out or anything like that. So I don't know if one of the victims is enough for the judge to kind of decide if he should get out or
you
not.
had witness intimidation involved in this case here. There's a lot going on.
And there's a lot of other victims who are not speaking out, obviously, and who see Diddy for who he was portrayed during the trial and his previous violations.
Eric, I'm wondering, what have you heard from some of the legal analysts that are out there? The fact that this verdict came down about as positive for Diddy as he could have possibly hoped. has there been some speculation that he might basically, when sentencing comes down, get sentenced to time served and that's about it?
I mean, it's definitely a possibility. I think that the prosecution is looking for a minimum of 4 years, given the severity of the crimes and the fact that he's been accused of doing it multiple times. But there is a possibility that he could get time served. He's been in jail now. I believe he was arrested in October, so it's been almost a year that he's been in behind bars. So there's definitely some time served to argue for.
By the way, I have
his side.
Yeah, I have a theory, and I'm just going to punch my camera up here. I have a theory that in high-profile cases, judges go harsher than they might otherwise, because as a judge, I don't think, you can comment on this, Eric, if you want or not, I don't think you can get in as much trouble if you go harder with the sentence than if you appear to go softer. Any thoughts on that?
I don't know about a broad statement like that. I think in this case, I think perhaps, and this is more me speaking, I think maybe the judge saw Diddy for who he is and saw that the jury kind of went a little light on him as far as sentencing goes. And I think he's trying to balance that out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, sentencing October 3rd for him in this case. Now, Eric, I want to ask your opinion on this. When you read the letter from Gina, I mean, what were you thinking? My initial reaction, you know what I said? I'll be honest. I said, well, how many houses is he paying for her? I mean,
I'm going to say no comment and say that your comment is holds weight, I think.
I went there. But, you know, I
right.
mean, just given all the evidence in this case, it just kind of was shocking to see.
Well, we're
see her
talking
say
about
that.
a guy who had the potential of being behind bars for years and even decades. The fact that now the question is somewhere between 1 year and 4 years, it probably will land somewhere in the middle.
Somewhere in the middle,
maybe
most likely, yeah.
about as good as he could have hoped for. Hey, what about this other story about the Menendez brothers? What's going on there? Apparently one of them, I guess it's Eric, is in the news.
Yeah, Eric had some pretty severe kidney stones recently, so severe that he was taken from the prison to a hospital and had several surgeries done for these kidney stones, which kidney stones alone are a pain to deal with. So I can't imagine needing several surgeries to get rid of them. But he is back in the prison now. He's doing well. He has that parole hearing on August 22nd. There was obviously talk about Gavin Newsom doing a furlough, but I think that's out of the question now. And we're just waiting for this parole hearing at the end of the month.
Oh, it's at the end of the month.
Yeah.
Any indication of what we might expect coming out of that?
You know, I feel like every day we get a new feeling of how this is going to go. And I really can't at this point predict. I think a lot of people are hoping, and I think maybe it's looking like they may get out. But I would just be speculation at this point. And it's changing so much with who gets involved, the DA, the governor, the judge, everything like that. Like, who knows where they're going to land.
Any more details on how long was he out of prison for these procedures? Do we know?
I believe about a week.
Okay. But he's back.
Okay. Well, really interesting couple of cases. I don't know what's happening in the world today, but it seems like so often now we're talking about the combination of celebrities and the law, and in court or in jail or in prison. So many of these high-profile stories end up kind of, Des, being like that,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
Well, it goes to show you no one's above the law.
Yes,
Right. Yeah.
that's a really good
Yeah,
point.
they set precedents.
Yep.
You know.
Okay. Eric, great having you on, and we'll check in with you here in a
thank
few
you.
more days as well.
Thanks, Eric.
Sounds good. Bye.
Okay, so
Thanks, Eric.
that is just fascinating. Yes, it's true. I joined the chat. I hardly ever join the chat, and it's not like I don't want to, but I knew that I had a couple of minutes while we were live with our friends at TMZ. So yeah, I actually got a chance to put a smiley face on there and talk.
Oh, look at that.
Talk
I
to
was
a
looking
couple
for
of
it.
you
I
guys.
see it now.
By the way, these next pictures, we have some video that comes in from overseas that we can't use. It's a kind of a technical thing, but others that we can. And Des and I were talking about this volcano that erupted, and the fact that it's so remote, it's in the far regions of Russia.
Yeah, this is the Krasheninnikov.
Thank you, Des.
Mm-hmm.
And it's up there in an area that's so remote. It's actually, they had to fly a helicopter to get up there. Look at it. I don't know. There's something about the combination of the eruption with the current weather pattern where it was kind of flattening out the volcanic cloud that was happening there. But experts say this eruption spewed the ash 4 miles into the sky. That's over 20,000 feet. And that it is, they do believe, Des, that it's linked to that earthquake, the 8.8 that hit the Kamchatka Peninsula, because it's sort of in that far, almost to the Pacific Ocean region of Russia. We were talking about this. Russia has 11 time zones.
When you said that this morning, I go, what?
I know. Stretches all the way from Finland to, across all of Europe, across all of Asia. It's up there north of China and Korea and everything. It almost touches Alaska, for goodness sakes, 11 time zones. And so there are some very remote parts, but they do believe that this may not be the last of the rumbling volcanoes.
It's crazy, right? This is, it can be so monstrous, these natural events. This volcano going off the first time in hundreds and hundreds of years, but also quite beautiful. Look at that cloud.
That's a good point.
It's
it
weird how it can be
beautiful,
both. Both
right?
things can be true.
Yeah. I was not working one Sunday back in the year 1980. My wife and I were getting ready to go for church. It's Sunday morning. This is very much live TV, but we heard on the radio some chatter that the Mount St. Helens volcano had exploded. And I thought, boy, they're making a big deal out of this. It wasn't until late that night that the pictures came in, and by then the volcanic ash was dumping on our city, on Spokane, 3 inches.
Wow.
About that much volcanic ash, 2 to 3 anyway. And you had to wear face masks because you didn't want to breathe it in.
I bet, the air quality. How
Gosh,
long
yes.
did that ash kind of hang out there?
I want to say for years.
It wouldn't melt like snow.
Yeah, no.
Right?
The most of it was gone within the first few rains.
Yeah,
you could still see it on the side of roads for years.
Wow.
It stuck with us.
Wow.
Crazy, right?
That's
Volcanoes. Talking about that. Talking about taking a quick break. And then we're back with more of Fox 10 Talks after a quick 2-minute break. Hope you'll stay with us and come join the chat. Well, we thought we'd give you one last look. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. Okay, welcome back, everybody. We thought we'd give you one more look at that volcano in Russia, because how often do you see a volcano in Russia?
Yeah, not often, right? This one hasn't erupted for nearly 500 years.
500 years.
So isn't that incredible?
Right. I don't know who's going to be doing Fox 10 Talks in the year 2525, but it's probably not going to be us.
No.
So hey, we'll have a whole new audience, too, now that I think about it. Anyway,
Yeah,
all right.
come on in.
Yeah. So anyway, it's Fox 10 Talks. Ron and Des, and we love hanging out with you guys in the chat. I just thought this was really interesting, Des. Apparently, there's a collab going on in the retail world. I want to get your take on whether you think this is going to work or not. Two of the biggest names out there, IKEA and Best Buy. IKEA is going to open mini showrooms inside Best Buy stores, and here's the concept. You know how Best Buy used to just be electronics, and then they branched out into appliances.
Right.
Right? You can get a fridge and other stuff like that.
That's where I got my kitchen appliance.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, my
Okay,
fridge,
great.
my stove.
Now, why'd you go there instead of like somewhere else?
Good question. I don't know.
Yeah?
I don't know. We walked in, shopping around. They had what we liked, and we got a good package deal.
Did you?
And customer service was great.
I don't know.
recommend it.
Can you bring Dez's mic up just a little bit, Big D? I'm having a hard time hearing it. But anyway, so will this work? Here's the story. They decided, and they're already testing it in Florida and Texas, but the whole idea is that you go in there and they can basically kind of design. Best Buy's like, oh yeah, the refrigerator's there in the back over there. And people are like, yeah, but I need some help. I want to design my whole kitchen or my laundry room when it comes to the washers and dryers. And so they're going to have design consultants there, and you can plan out your whole kitchen or plan out your whole laundry room. I love this idea.
I mean, this is great.
Yeah.
Right? And IKEA is known for being generally affordable. So I would hope, you probably give them whatever your budget is, and they could probably customize it to what would fit your needs.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so we'll see if that works. Good luck to both of them.
Yeah,
it's
like the new Target and Ulta and Kohl's and Sephora. I'm kind of like all for these partnerships.
Oh, yes. Okay, so who's in Target?
Ulta Beauty. So yeah, makeup, and then Kohl's has Sephora. And it's like, that's great.
Yeah.
It's a one-stop shop if you need both of those things.
For
so why not?
Okay,
all in Florida though, huh? Florida and Texas.
Let's also talk about this story. Anytime there are really promising medical advances, we like to talk about it because this was something that we had on our show, but it was just a real quick 20-second story, so we wanted to dig into it a little bit. But at the University of Michigan, they have invented a device that they hope can help people at home learn whether or not a concerning mole or something else on their skin is skin cancer.
Wow, that's great.
Right?
Because early detection, right?
That would is the whole key
solve
to the whole
a lot
thing,
of health issues.
Yeah.
At least let you get ahead.
So, I think we probably have all known people that have dealt with skin cancer. I don't know if you've had anybody in your either career or your life or family or friends, but
friends.
We've had people that we've known here at work who've had bad cases, or even prominent people here in town.
Yeah,
who've
you've never had a
skin
scare,
cancer.
have you?
No.
Okay.
Thank goodness. But I've certainly known people who've had to deal with it. Anyway, here's the gist of the whole thing. They have this test that's under development at the University of Michigan. It's called an exo patch. It uses a small silicone skin patch placed over the spot to determine and read out to you whether it is cancerous or not. Now, obviously, you're going to still want to check with your doctor. But I think we all maybe have those moles that you look at sometimes, particularly if they're in like a hard to see place like your back, etc. And it's one of those things that gets people concerned. So they say they've been testing it in a lab setting and that it's really promising. So I think as long as people don't, say, well, that's great, I never have to go see a doctor again, you still want to check in with your doc.
Yeah, no.
But I think it's promising. What do you think?
I mean, it sounds interesting. And I was just reading because I'm wondering, how does a patch work? It's embedded with star-shaped micro needles that are just, millimeters long. And those micro needles are coated with the gel containing a certain protein, right? Way over my head. That helps determine if something on your body could be cancerous. So that's just fascinating what we're able to do. But yeah, you're right. I mean, if you can't get into your doctor, right, sometimes you might see something and you think, this really isn't worth a trip,
right?
But you can do that at home and find out. It's a good first stop.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, another story that we've been talking about today is that one of the, I thought, even though I hadn't been, the fact when it first came into town, I thought, this could be pretty cool. We need more attractions here in the Valley. We don't really have any mega theme parks like a Disneyland or a Six Flags, that kind of a thing. I know we got Barbie Land.
My family back at home in the Northeast, they're so surprised that we don't have an amusement park.
I know.
Like, of course, it's hot, during the summer, so who would want to stand outside in those lines? But most of the year, our weather is great.
Yes. I think they're afraid because
they're waiting for us to do it.
What's that?
They're waiting for us to do it, Ron.
Okay, good. Yeah, we're the entrepreneurs. We just need $10 million.
Yeah, probably
but
more.
I think that they're afraid to do it because summertime is when a lot of these theme parks see their biggest business. But we have 5 million people here. And I remember interviewing, it wasn't an interview that I did, but I read it. From Marriott, Mr. Marriott, when Marriott owned some of these theme parks, and it was called Marriott's Great America, up in the Bay Area, for example, which I believe is now a Six Flags. And he's like, you really have to have a huge metro area to build one of these parks, like 4 or 5 million. Well, here we are.
Well, here we
got
are.
5 million people.
And we're growing.
I think that if you did evening, like incentives for people to come out in the nighttime hours, the evening hours, or else build some of them indoors. I once said, Des, that if they were going to build a brand new ballpark for the Diamondbacks, because there's been talk that maybe they would just go to a different place somewhere here in town, save that building. You could probably fit 6 roller coasters inside the Chase Field.
See, look it. I told you they're waiting for you. They're waiting for you, Ron.
Right?
You've already been thinking it through.
And you could have a zip line going over the top.
A zip line over the top?
Yeah. I mean, you'd have to remove the bases. Third base would definitely have to go. Probably second.
I mean, we're getting something kind of the Mattel theme park that's coming to the west side. So we'll have to see what that's about. That's kind of like the first theme park that, we'll get.
And a big chunk of it is indoors. So I think that that's going to prove, my hope is it's a smash hit. And it proves to these other developers from Disney to Six Flags, hey, you know what? We can build it kind of indoors and outdoors.
I think a theme park could survive here.
Oh,
I do.
Yeah, I think it would definitely do so great. But anyway, okay, so back to the topic. We lost another one of our attractions. They just closed up over the weekend. It's Ripley's, believe it or not. So visitors were walking around this weekend for the last time. And if you'd never been inside, it's a meteorite from Mars. I mean, they had some really interesting stuff that you could go in and see and get all kinds of, just make it interesting. Someplace to go that's indoors and air conditioned. They had a statue of Robert Wadlow, the world's tallest man. And we don't know yet what will replace the museum, but you've just heard our opinion that we're ready for a big-time theme park, and somebody's going to do it. Now, the thing is, we've basically run out of land to do it anywhere in the central part of the city. But if you look at the way it's booming out around either Queen Creek in the East Valley.
Oh, yeah, that is growing.
Or maybe Surprise in the West Valley, or Buckeye.
Buckeye, Goodyear even.
Yeah, I think they would all willingly work with some sort of a developer.
Put it out there next to that Buc-ee's that's coming in the West Valley.
See? Which is already...
You got 2 mega attractions
it's already
right there.
An attraction on its own.
Yeah, Darren is in the chat, Darren Lloyd, and he goes, too hot for a theme park, no? I don't know. Maybe I'm too optimistic, but I really think it could survive.
Yeah,
Because
well,
majority of the year, our weather is good.
Yeah, that's
But
exactly
I mean, the
right.
kids are in school, so I
Yep.
guess you'd have to factor that in. But
So then it got us talking in the newsroom, and I'm going to bring in Dave. Oh, wait.
he switched chairs. Dave
okay,
is in
Dave, hold on.
director.
We can still hear you. We just can't see you.
Dave is director. Dave.
Okay, good. We were talking about where do you go to cool off, and here in the great state of Arizona, we are so blessed to have a city like Flagstaff that is a 2-hour drive away, and you're at 7,000 feet. Forest Lakes up on the rim is almost 8,000 feet. Pinetop Lakeside is about 7. But you guys just this weekend went and hung out in the cool weather, right?
Oh, where'd you go?
True. Yeah, we were in the last few nights, Flagstaff, and then I sent in a picture of, we stopped by Williams as well to go to Arizona.
Oh, hold on. I think we
Oh, I
lost
love
your
your
mic for
photos
one sec,
here.
but I'm going to pop it up because look right there. All right, so there's Dave. Let me pop you up again so we can hear you. I
Yeah,
have to
that's
hit your
my
cam. Go
wife
for it.
Anna
Yep.
and my kids Sophie and Levi.
Okay, so how was Arizona?
Arizona's terrific. Saw lots of animals. Got to walk through, have some great lunch. It's a wonderful.
Yeah, did you guys stop and have lunch? We took the kids twice, and that's like a must. We have to end with lunch. The food is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
What'd you
it's
guys
terrific.
get?
Oh gosh, I don't remember what
Yeah.
I got. I think a green chili cheeseburger or something like that. It was
Ooh, that sounds
really
pretty good.
food.
Yeah, no, it's good.
By the way, Dave, I'm going to ask you because Dave's also directing right now. Which VO is Dez's VO from?
Let me check.
Okay, hang on, everybody. We're going to get the answer. It's a streaming show. Where?
Yeah.
VO8.
VO8. Look at
So
that.
I asked Dez, I said, where do you guys like to go to cool off? And look at this video, Dez. Come on, how fun.
Yeah, we're staying indoors. We're going around to all the bounce houses that are inside.
Okay.
Right? It's a win-win. These toddlers, man, I don't know how or why God created them this way, but so much energy in those little bodies.
No, it's amazing.
So it's the perfect spot
That's
in the
so
summer.
fun.
Yeah.
And then I had this one. All the fat cats around town. That's my grandson Riley.
Oh, he's so cute.
Because they turn the blue lights on or the purple lights or whatever, and it's so fun bowling. And you can see they have the ramp right there, so every youngster rarely throws a gutter ball. So
that's probably one of the smartest inventions. That
yeah,
and the
I
bumpers.
think so too. Anyway, we hope you have plenty of ideas and ways to cool off. It's going to be probably our hottest week of the year. We're looking at 117 come Thursday, but you know what? We're all going to get through it, aren't we?
We will survive.
Yeah.
We've had a great June, a great July. Yeah, we're used to it.
Guess we better say our goodbyes, Des.
Already? Man, this show goes fast.
Mm-hmm. See you tomorrow, everybody.
Man, the Hooner, he's smooth.
It does go by so ridiculously fast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Daz. Wonderful.
Great.